morning, folks. This is John Lair speaking for the Renfro Valley folks, but not from Renfro Valley. This morning we're coming to you from the Kentucky State Fairgrounds, Louisville, Kentucky, where we're presenting 4 shows daily in our big tent theater. 4 shows were not all we put on yesterday, though, when crowds piled in for show after show all afternoon and up into the night, and they'll probably do the same thing this afternoon and tonight. But regardless of where we are or what's going on, you who join us by radio are nonetheless welcome at the Renfro Valley Gathering. Well, if the weather in Renfro Valley this morning is like it is up here, then the valley's record of unusually fine weather remains unbroken. This has been one of the most pleasant seasons in many years, especially nice every Sunday morning. And now, Miss Bess, you should feel right at home since we've dragged the old parlor organ, a borrowed one, by the way, out here so you can give us a chord for our opening hymn.
Shall we gather at the river, where bright angels meet and draw, with this crystal light forever, flowing by the throne of God? Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river, gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God. Ere we reach the shining river, lay we every burden down. Grace our spirits will deliver and provide a robe and crown. Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river, gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God. Soon we'll reach the shining river, soon our pilgrimage will cease. Soon our happy hearts will quiver with the melody of peace. Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river, gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God.
Well, the folks here at the State Fair are really going for our new record album of the Renfro Valley Gathering, and the boys and girls who sell them have been handing them out right and left. Now, this is the first time we've recorded anything from the gathering. Folks have been telling us for years that we should do it, but we just never did get around to it. Now we've put out an album that we're really proud of. There are 12 numbers in it, mostly recorded by our present cast, but including also a few of some of the older folks who were with us in the past. On some of these older recordings, Slim Miller's fiddling can be heard. That's about the only record we have of it. It was about this time last year, a few weeks earlier maybe, that Slim left us, as you know. One of the 12 numbers is a recording by the Farmer Sisters of the complete song, Take Me Back to Renfro Valley, a part of which you heard is our theme song through all the years we've been on the air. Another Renfro Valley song is The Valley Where Time Stands Still. Russ and Joe sing that, and I do the poem with it. Now, we don't have time this morning to name all the other songs, but when the fair is over and we get back home, we'll go more into detail on it. We'll start mailing them out to folks who order them just as soon as we get back. Another thing folks who see the album down here find most attractive is the great big full-color picture of the whole cast on the album cover. Nicest one we've ever had made, I think. And now we get along with the gathering with a song from the Farmer Sisters.
Once I was clothed in the rags of my sin, wretched and poor, lost and lonely within, but with wondrous compassion, the King of all kings, in pity and love, took me under his wing. Oh yes, I'm a child of the King. His royal blood now flows in my veins, and I, who was wretched and poor, now can sing. Praise God, praise God, I'm a child of the King. Now I'm a child with a heavenly home. My Holy Father has made me his own, and I'm cleansed by his blood, and I'm clothed in his love, and someday I'll sing with the angels above. Oh yes, I'm a child of the King. His royal blood now flows in my veins, and I, who was wretched and poor, now can sing. Praise God, praise God, I'm a child of the King.
Birthday list a little short for this morning. An older one seems to be that of Mrs. John Pennington of Haynesville, Louisiana, who is 100 years old today. Daisy Davis, who notified us of this date, sent in one of the first contributions received by mail for this year's Christmas party fund. Still older, at the top of today's list, is the 104th birthday of William Beringer of Le Sueur, Minnesota. James Freddie Charbonneau of Highland Park, Michigan is 90. Everett Pressman, Toledo, Ohio, 93. Mr. and Ms. John Rogers, Lake Odessa, Michigan, have been married 59 years. Mr. and Ms. Fred Sturmer, Rush City, Minnesota, 60. Mr. and Ms. John Goolsby, Winfield, Alabama, 66. Mr. and Ms. William V. Ritchie, Lakeland, Florida, 65. Mr. and Ms. Joe E. Beasley, Hillsdale, Michigan, 65. Mr. and Ms. David Lucas, Kansas City, Kansas, 56. Mr. and Ms. Horace Roundtree, Claremore, Oklahoma, 58. Celebrating golden weddings are Mr. and Ms. William Koo of Arlington, Minnesota, Mr. and Ms. Sherman McIntosh, Marengo, Indiana, Mr. and Ms. William Stoddard, Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Mr. and Ms. Delbert Russell of Savannah, Georgia. Our 25th anniversary, which we celebrated here at the Kentucky State Fair last year, really runs into this year also, being sort of a split event, covering fall and winter of 1962 and spring and summer of 1963. We made no attempt this year to call back old-timers from a distance who were here last year. Chartered planes and such to bring them in ran into a lot of money last year, and since most of the old-timers are working somewhere anyhow and can't leave a regular job to get up here for a few days, we left out the homecoming as a feature this year. But many of those who live not too far away are coming in. Some have already been here, some are here today, others will be coming in during the week. Last year, many of them suggested that we have an annual reunion of our older acts. We did give the matter a lot of consideration, but for reasons outlined above, we thought it might not be practical. A lot of the people who have been attending our show since we've been on the fairgrounds remember the old-timers from last year and ask about them. And as we say, some of them are with us, others will come later, but we won't have as many and from as far away as last year. A lot of the folks who visited our show here last year coming back to see us again. We appreciate that a whole lot. Many are glad to see Sleepy Marlin back with us. Sleepy is associated with Renfro Valley since last year's appearance here. He's just gotten back from Canada, where he again won the Canadian Fiddling Championship, a habit he seems to have developed through the years. And now Russ and Joe Fisher have a song to sing for Mr. and Ms. Ralph Johnson of Frankfort, Kentucky.
There's an old ramshackle shack where in dreams I wander back and listen to those southern melodies. Was the place where I was born on a bright October morn, and it's nestled at the end of my river of memories. Did you ever go sailing down the river of memories to a little log cabin that is nestled among the sycamore trees, where the sunshine is cheery and nothing in the world grows dreary? That's my cabin at the end of my river of memories. There's a mother old and gray at the end of memory's way. I will meet her there tonight among the trees. With a smile of welcome she so sweetly beckons me to the cabin at the end of my river of memories. Did you ever go sailing down the river of memories to a little log cabin that is nestled among the sycamore trees, where the sunshine is cheery and nothing in the world grows dreary? That's my cabin at the end of my river of memories.
Mrs. Johnson and her daughter were with us at the barn dance show here in the big tent last night, by the way. And, of course, they had their little dog, Joe Friday, along with them. He went through his regular routine, barking at old Joe Clark as soon as he showed up on the stage. Old Joe's the only actor that he ever barks at, but last year he did break over and bark at Hoss on the Bonanza show. They played the fair at the same time we did, and Joe Friday took as violent a dislike to Hoss as he always has had to old Joe Clark, and couldn't be hushed up as long as he was on the scene. The Johnsons, by the way, have missed only one Renfro Valley barn dance in more than 3 years. That was the night of the deep snow when they started out from home but didn't get all the way to Renfro Valley before being turned back by the Highway Patrol. Incidentally, we're meeting a lot of folks here at the fair who didn't know we're still operating our Saturday night stage show, the Renfro Valley Barn Dance, in the big barn down in Renfro Valley every Saturday night. That's because it hasn't been on the air for over a year. We still have 2 shows in the old barn on Saturday night, one at 7, the other at 9 o'clock. We've cut down to only the 7 o'clock show when the weather gets cold. In our absence from the barn last night, some of the boys staged a big hootenanny performance. They called me this morning to say they had a big crowd, so I reckon everything went off all right. Sorry we couldn't be down there this morning, but since we announced last week we'd be here on the fairgrounds instead of in the valley, maybe too many people didn't show up this morning to be disappointed. The Pierces and 2 or 3 other families from Michigan and Ohio came on up here last night when they got to Renfro Valley and learned the regular acts wouldn't be there. And now for these folks who went to so much trouble and drove so far to be with us, Joe Fisher sings.